Welcome back to the BCHS Bear Network for the Jason Reuter Coaches Show here on the network. Glad to have you join us again. It's the first time we've had a show in quite a while, since back in mid-December. And Coach Reuter, a lot of things have taken place since then. You've been on the road. Seems like we've been on the road forevermore. And you've had some trips down to, I guess we went to East Hampton, the last game after our last show. Then we went to Greenville and had a trip to Knox Catholic. So let's sort of, let's introduce our guest today. We need to get her on.
Over here to my left is Erica Swick. She's a junior who has started every game this year.
Yes,
started all 16 games, and Erica's worked really, really hard to earn that spot. And I know I can count on one thing. I can count on Erica. I know she's going to give me her best effort. Mm-hmm. And she's coming off a really good game. Unfortunately, it was a loss, but she shot the ball really well last time we played. And,
sure did.
As we air this, in just a few hours, we'll be leaving to go to McMinn County, and I know that when we get on that bus, I know that this girl next to me is going to give me all she's got, and that means a lot. It makes me lay down at night and sleep a little better.
Well, after seeing her as a sophomore, she's a junior this year. I told some guys, I said, you may be one of the most improved players on the team. Your effort is always there, as Coach says. I mean, that means a lot. Obviously, he sees a lot in you if you're starting for the Bearettes. I mean, that means a lot. Erica, you've been playing basketball here for 3 years now, I guess? Mm-hmm. And where did you play in middle school at?
Lake Forest.
Lake Forest. Who was your coach down there?
Zandra, and then Coach Hoffman, and then we had Triplet and Haas.
Okay, all right. How's your game coming along? What do you think, and how's the team playing in your mind?
I think our chemistry together has improved so much. It's better, honestly, than ever. Mm-hmm. We do have a lot to work on, but I think we're improving as time goes on.
Well, the games at Greenville, we won 3 out of 4 there, and that's a tough competition. The one team you lost to, one of those powerhouse teams out of Kentucky there. Hopefully you learned something about yourself, and the team learned something. I'm sure Coach picked up some things there too out of that tournament.
Mm-hmm. Definitely did.
Well, Coach, since we last met, you've lost a game. The last game you played, actually, at Knox Catholic, a very, very good team, and they've got one of the best players in the state in Sydney Maines. Obviously, she is an all-state player. She burned us for 30 points. You look at our stats from that game, we shot well, 50% from the floor, 50% from three-point range. We had very few turnovers. I think it was 9 or something like less than 10 for the game. 6. Yep. You scored 60 points. You told me after the game, says you score 60 points on the road, shoot that well, you're going to win those games 9 out of 10 times. But that one girl, you said this, that one girl that we couldn't seem to completely corral from time to time got free, and she could knock the bottom out of it, and she did that against us.
Yeah, that's a weird game. I've replayed it. Me and you talked as you were covering for the paper there. I had not even went to the locker room yet, so you got to gather your thoughts. I knew why we lost, because we gave up more points than we scored. But looking at the stat sheet, I don't know. I've not always been a head coach, but in my entire career, I don't know that we've ever lost a game where we shot the ball that well and had 6 turnovers. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of ball games. I'm talking about assistant coach for 17 years and head coach for 12 years. And, I didn't always have stats available to me back 20 years ago like I do now, but immediately after the game. But we shot 50% from the field. Out of that, 59 from the 3. We have 6 turnovers. Knox Catholic has 10. Knox Catholic we had, I think, 9 offensive boards. They had 7. All those categories you're looking to win. Now, the only difference was we lost by 3, and that could be one shot. We had a chance there, with 7 seconds left, taking it out, and we turned it over on the inbounds play. We got it in. We were getting the shot we wanted, but I told Carsey in front of the team, we watched the film Sunday together. I said, I think you're not careful, kid will blame themselves. But she threw the ball into Knox Catholic. You were there watching. Mm-hmm. Didn't have enough arch on the ball. But I told her that, we're not in that position without Carsey Weber. I said, one play didn't win or lose this game. But
right.
The most disappointing thing was we let a girl score 30, and we talked about it. We planned to stop her, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And we just didn't play with enough urgency. we didn't run at her. Those girls that can shoot and drive, Gary, those are the ones that make you stay up at night. Mm-hmm. This girl can do both, but we got off more shots than they did, but they shot just a little better than we did, and we got to learn from it, move on. I say again, I don't think we played with a sense of urgency to make sure she didn't score. And sometimes you've seen great players before. We hang our hat on defense, but I will be honest with you, good offense will beat good defense. If I've got my hand in your face, how many teams tried to stop Michael Jordan? And he still scored 35, 38, 36, 40. So I'm going to tip my hat to Knox Catholic. They earned it. They deserved it. They shot just a little better than we did. And we'll get a chance. We beat them at Greenville by 14, I believe it was, and we play them again at our place later on here in February. So we'll get a chance to see if they can duplicate that, and if they do, then we'll tip our hat again. But I got a feeling that's about as good as Knox Catholic can play.
Well, it's one of those games where it's not like you did anything wrong to lose the game. But they did more positive to win the game, and they did good. And they're a good team.
They deserve, they shot. I think that I'll be surprised. I don't have access to their stats, but you can say, well, they shot it. Maybe you didn't guard them. Well, I told you, I'll admit we did not guard the Maines girl, the one that scored 30. We did not run her off the line, and we let her shoot. But some of those shots were 5, 6, 7 feet behind the three-point line.
Oh, they were NBA.
Yeah, and you got girls creeping out, and they're just, well, most teams we played, the girl shoots at you like, go ahead, you're going to hit 1 out of 5 of them.
Yeah.
This girl hit 8 out of 12.
Yeah.
And
she's comfortable on her home floor, that's for sure.
We'll move on, and that game's over. Sometimes a loss, you've heard me say this before, losing's not so bad if it doesn't go to the heart, and winning's okay if it don't go to the head. Mm-hmm. We just lost a ball game. We're sitting here at 14-2. Nobody died here. My dinner didn't taste very good Saturday night. I rode, I rewound the game in my head at night, laying in bed, and we're not used to losing, and I don't want to get used to losing. So it should bother us, and that's why we're talking now for 5 minutes about this game, because we're not used to losing, and I want to keep it that way.
Well, I know we don't like to lose, but Erica, Bearettes come out the first poll, ranked number 4 in the state. I don't know if you guys have seen that, ranked 4th in the state. We've played Farragut, who's ranked number 5. We've beaten Farragut, the team right behind us in those rankings. So there's obviously there's a lot of pride in the Bradley program and the Bearettes, the winningest program in the state of Tennessee, in the history of Tennessee, either boys or girls. So do you guys ever talk about that? Hey, we're so-and-so, we're ranked. Is that something that comes up? You just say that's just something you expect, I guess.
Yeah, we don't focus on it because at the end of the day, it's not about the rankings, about what you're gonna do, and we're just focusing on each game as we play it.
Your background, you said you played at Lake Forest there, and now you have sisters. Mm-hmm. Tell us who they are. They're twins, older than you?
Yes, I have 3 older sisters. The middle one is Maggie. She's in college. She's a freshman. And then twin sisters, they're 22.
And your mother now, she could whoop me because she's a fitness freak, workout personal trainer. I think. What's her name?
Tanya Swick.
Tanya, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we won't mess with her, that's for sure. Our coach. Good person to have on our team, though, when you need backup there. But, well, Coach, tonight, you've got a run now coming tonight with at McMinn County, whose girls are unbeaten in the district, just like we are, right there with game behind us. Then you have to you host Walker Valley Friday night. Go to Cleveland next Friday, then Howard. So you got four plus you got Ottawa and Ray coming up after that. So we're through with any non-district games except for Knox Catholic coming up later in the year. It looks like this way it stands right now. So what do you anticipate tonight with McMinn County? I think they're going to be fired up. They've not beaten us in a long time. Going back to 2007 since they last beat us. And they'd like nothing better to break our long winning streak in the district there. And they got a little girl named Peyton Oliver, who is a junior. She's probably one of the best players, 5'3" maybe, if she's that tall. Best player they've had probably in a long time. And I'm sure she's going to be fired up along with their crowd and their team, their coaches. And let me go ahead and throw David Tucker is back as coach there now. You knew Tucker from way back when. He was at McMinn County. He was at Charleston for 1 year, went to Walker Valley when they opened. It was there for, 10 years maybe, something like that. Went to Georgia.
Right.
Came back to Tellico, now he's back here. And let's send our thoughts and prayers and to Tim McPhail and his family. Obviously, everybody knows his medical situation is not good, and David's agreed to step in as an interim for him. It's just a different field going to McMinn tonight with Coach McPhail gone and Tucker there, and they've got a good team. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you sleep on them, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, I think you covered a lot of it there, Gary. They're 10-5, which is not a shabby record. We looked at we've got 5 of their 15 games on film. We statted those and looked at it, and they're definitely playing with a little pizzazz. They got a little spring in their step. They're Coach Tucker obviously taking over the program. Has brought in his own philosophy, and they have. No offense to Coach Tucker, they had every starter returning. So whoever's coaching them, they ought to be better. Mm-hmm. Now, if you've got 5 bad starters and they're coming back, then maybe you won't be much better. But they had 5 girls that are pretty decent players. And you talked about Peyton Oliver. She's averaging 21 points in those 5 games we statted.
Wow.
21.6. So we don't have all 15, but we've statted 5. And they've got a couple other girls. Number 10, Gonzalez. Mm-hmm. She's averaging 12 in those 5 games that we statted. I'm sorry, Addie Smith is averaging 12, and Gonzalez is averaging about 11. So they're putting the ball up a lot. They're shooting a lot of threes. They're pressing. They're going to run zone. They're going to try to cause havoc. You're right. We've never lost to McMinn since I've been coaching here. You said 2007. Is this real wood right here? Gwen, is this real wood?
It's laminate. There's wood under.
I'm gonna knock on a little wood here. If we don't go up there and play basketball tonight, we'll get beat.
Yeah.
And we don't have to play. We don't have to be Superwoman. We don't have to pull a rabbit out of the hat. We just got to play Bearettes basketball. And if we do that, if we go up there and play an average game, I think we'll win. But if we go up there and lay an egg, or Jones gets in foul trouble, or these girls can't knock down open jumpers, because we're going to have open jumpers. They're going to run a 2-3 zone, and we know how to get open shots. The question is, can you hit 35% of those from the 3? If you can do that, see, if we shoot like we did at Knox Catholic, I'll bet you $1 against the donut, we're going to win. But you can't hang your hat on that.
No, Erica, I think you had 3 or 4 3-pointers up there. I mean, she's probably one of your best outside shooters.
She's a 45% shooter and 39% from the 3. So that's tied. If anybody with any significant amount, we've got people here that shot 3 threes and hit 2 of them or something, but anybody who's shot a significant amount, her and Carsey are tied at 39%. Yeah, Erica Swick's got an open jumper, and she catches it with room, she catches it in rhythm, and she catches it with room and rhythm, and it's an open 3, then she better take it. If she doesn't, Coach Reuter's probably going to jerk her out.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times there. Erica, looking at, I guess you looked at film with McMinn County too. What do you see there? What's going to be the challenge for you there tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm guarding number 10, and I know that she likes to drive, but she can also shoot. So I think knowing a balance is you have to play the best defense that you can, like especially Sloan will be guarding Peyton. She has to keep her hand up and stay in room with her, but also know that she can drive. So I think just staying low, keeping your hands up, is a big part.
Okay. It's like she's listened to the coach. What do you think?
It sounds like she has, She's
regurgitating what Coach Reuter's told the team yesterday. We practice Sunday. We don't mess with church. We practice 2:15 to 3:45, and then we sometimes lift. And we just really watched film Sunday, and we didn't talk about McMinn a lot. We just talked about the Catholic game, and then yesterday we basically got ready for McMinn. We watched film, we practiced, and you really got a one day, because we played on Saturday. The girls really needed a day off, but we had those 2 days off of school. We didn't practice Thursday, practice Friday. It's a short turnaround, but I've watched a lot of film on them now, Gary, and I think I've seen everything that they can possibly do, but to show that to girls and everything else you got to do in a 2-hour practice, and watch film. You can't sit there and watch film for 2 hours straight with your girls. You'll lose them.
Yeah.
You know, 25, 30 minutes film, practice 2 hours. We think we know them pretty well, but
They know us too.
they you know, I'm sure Coach Tucker has got his films and he knows us pretty well. So this will be a challenge that we expect to win, but I'm sure McMinn County is going to expect to win, and Coach Tucker, we're friends. I mean, you know, actually, we've never coached against each other. I don't know if you really thought about this. He got out at Walker Valley after I took the job, but he got out a few months later and went to Georgia. So I've known Coach Tucker from a distance. I've actually got to know him better over the years, like him running some camps up at Charleston or Calhoun and Tennessee Wesleyan. Maybe my daughters were playing at Ocoee Middle, and I'd be sitting in the bleachers. I end up talking to him for an hour at a time, and you know, I think he's excited to be back there, and the kids are playing hard, and there's no love lost between me. I've told these girls before, this may be, I've heard it's the oldest uninterrupted football rivalry in the state.
It's one of the old, yeah.
Yeah, South Pittsburgh and Marion, where it was, but I think they skipped a year. So
Yep.
there'll be no love loss against Bradley up there, and they'll give all they got, and we'll give all we got. We'll see where the cookie crumbles and where it lands. But I think that it'll simply come down again. Can we hold? This is the good news, like you said. Peyton Oliver's a tremendous shooter, but she's 5'3". It's a little easier to get your hand up over the ball on a 5'3" than a 5'10" girl like Maine. So we'll see how we stack up tonight. And I'm gonna mention Tim McPhail. I talked to the girls about him yesterday. We're all praying for him and his family, and I hate it. We're not promised another day, and we know that Coach McPhail is not doing well. And you know, I've texted him a couple times in the last 6 or 7 weeks, but latest I've heard he's not doing good, and our heart goes out to his family. I hate it for his wife and his kids, and it kind of puts things in perspective. We're going to play a ball game tonight. It's a game. You know what? We want to win. We'll be disappointed, but I'd take a loss if Tim McPhail could get healthy. I'd say it would just beat us.
A lot of folks,
you know, we can't do that. So just keep him and his family in your prayers, and I hope we have a good crowd up there tonight.
Well, I'm hoping that too, and because we've got a stretch here now that's coming up that's going to really decide who's going to be the top dog, so to speak, in the district for the boys and the girls. And we'll be there tonight. We'll have our broadcast tonight on the Buzz 101.3, by the way, starting at 6 o'clock. It's a 4-game set. The girls JV is at 3:30, followed by the boys JV, the varsity boys.
Right.
And then we'll be back home, finally back home. It's going to be nice to be in Jim Smitty Arena, finally, again.
It's been a long time, hasn't it, Eric?
Yeah.
You're right. I'll look here. Of course, these were neutral floor, but, you know, East Hamilton was away at their gym. Mm-hmm. And then 4 up in Greenville. Mm-hmm. There's 5. And McMinn Central 6, Knox Catholic at their gym 7. That's 7 road games in a row.
Tonight makes 8.
Tonight makes 8. I don't know that. That's not normal.
No.
It's not normal.
Boys face the same thing tonight as their 8th road game, too. But
8 in a row. 4 of those neutral for both teams, but 4 on the other team's home floor. So it's a big difference. I tell our girls all the time, we play at home. It has nothing to do other than the surroundings and your gym and your familiarity with the basket and your crowd. I tell them all the time, it's how much I think it's worth us playing at home.
10.
I think it's worth 10 points.
I believe it.
Yeah. So that floor is 94 feet up there. We got an 84-foot floor, which is regulation, but a lot of these gyms are 94 college length, and you know, you got a lot of background up there in that gym. Mm-hmm. I don't want to psych Erica out here and my girls, but we went up there and played really well. We went up there and struggled before, so we've never lost under our tenure, but this will be a good challenge for us.
Let's go back just quickly to Greenville. We played teams up there, team out of Kentucky. We played Catholic there, the team we've played twice now. What do you bring away from that? It's, to me, it's like I told Zach Carpenter earlier, it's fun to see different teams that we never will see again probably this year, maybe never see again ever, just to see the difference in the games and how they play it, and then they see us.
Oh, yeah. You know, we went to Greenville twice under Ryan Howard's last 2 years and won it, and You know, I had a good experience. You know, you have a good taste in your mouth when you go somewhere and win a tournament. Mm-hmm. Usually people that lose, they find a lot of things to complain about, but we found that we were treated really well, and they compensate you some financially for coming to offset some of the, it takes, you know how much money it takes to take 15 girls and 4 coaches and a filmer and stay in a hotel room 3 nights and eat 3 meals a day.
That's the way the coaches eat.
Yeah, and yeah, especially when you got Freeman and Adam Belton on your staff. I mean, I'm looking outside. They ordered room service at 3 in the morning. There's trays outside their door. I don't know what.
It'd be a good experience for you and the girls.
Yeah,
you know. You saw some good ball, played some good ball.
We played a team. First game we played, Myers Park. I don't know a bit more about Myers Park before I heard their name than I did about some team in China. But I looked them up. They got a school with 3,700 kids in it.
Wow.
Yeah, they sat in a nice part of downtown Charlotte, and they've won 2 state championships in the last 7 years at the largest class. So we play them off the bat. We beat them. Then we play Ryle, Kentucky, who ended up, before the tournament was over, they were ranked 3rd in the state of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. We lose by 5. I think we play them 10 times. I think we win 5, and they probably win 5. And then Knox Catholic, we beat them by 14. Kind of a gut check, low-scoring game. I think everybody was starting to get pretty tired by then. 3rd game in 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then you play South Laurel out of London, Kentucky, who's got a solid team, and we beat them by 13. So we come home 3-1, disappointed we didn't win, but what we got out of that was, you know, the state tournament, you got to win 3 games in 3 days many times. Sometimes it's 3 games in 4 days, but you have to build your team. It's all about what your goals are. If your goals are to win a state championship, then you better start doing the things it takes to do that. Mm-hmm. You got to learn how to travel. You got to learn how to pack your bags. You got to learn how to behave at a hotel. You got to learn to schedule your meals. You got to learn to organize a game practice before you play that morning. So there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for, logistics and planning. I mean, you think a team that's been to the state tournament, if all things are equal, one team's been to the state tournament 5 out of the last 7 years, and one team is first time going. Advantage who?
The team has been there a lot. 5
out of 7 times, or whatever, 4 out of 7. So we do that and have a good time, but it's no vacation, is it, Erica? There's not, you know, Andrew Johnson, one of the presidents of our country, is from that town. They've got he's buried there. You know, that town, everything kind of, you know, Andrew Johnson. Yeah, everywhere. The bank, it sponsors it. We got a branch here in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. One reason I went up there is several years ago is Mike Thomason from Andrew Johnson Bank here in town, the president. He asked me if I would consider going, and they sent me an email, and they offered us some money, and we said, yeah, we'll go. And part of it was people like you and Turner Jackson said, won't you quit going to Orlando and Disney World and go up to Greenville and play somebody? So we're 11-1 in Greenville. Yeah, 11-1. So not too shabby.
No.
11-1 in 3 trips. Yeah, we'll take that. And I told the guy, there's a new guy running it, but you say nothing's really changed too much. But you know, he's going to invite us back next year, and I don't know what, you know, who knows what the future holds. But I just told him to keep inviting us. That as long as I'm coaching, I said I can tell you this: I will be back. Whether it's next year, I don't know. But you've seen us go to Phoenix. You've seen us go to Naples. But if you want to go to a good tournament right here in the state of Tennessee, I can't imagine. I've looked around on paper and what I've seen. There's none better than the Greenville tournament.
I agree 100% with you. It's a good team. You're going to be whether win or lose. You're going to put the team into a situation maybe they're uncomfortable in that. Hey, they need to see these kind of situations and figure out, hey, here's what happens when we get behind the 8 ball. You know, how we come back. You know, see how you respond and all that. And it helps all the way around in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I think we definitely got better from going to Greenville. So, and I know that we've talked enough about that, but as Eric could tell you, you know, the last game has nothing to do with the next game. We hope we learned something from going there, but you know, the Knox Catholic game, that's over. Now it's McMinn County. So, only thing that could change is you know, I say that last game has nothing to do with the next game, but if you're playing well, or like if they're scouting this girl now, she hit 3 out of 4 threes against Knox Catholic. It might make people guard you a little tighter, but in that case, then we should have other people open. So, you know, it's not checkers, it's chess.
Yeah.
We're playing chess here. So, looking forward to tonight.
Well, good luck tonight. Erica Swick, thank you, hon, for being here.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Stay healthy and everything. Just keep praying on the grass.
Hey, we stay healthy, and I'll take what else comes our way. We just stay healthy.
That's going to wrap it up for this week's Jason Reuter Coaches Show here on the BCHS Bearettes Network. I've been your host, Gary Ownbey. The next time, God bless and go Bearettes.